Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Libra December 2023 reading and forecast high. I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant. Now, this month we have a very interesting deck that we're going to use, and it will tell us, in conjunction with the cosmic influences swirling around, the numerology and the astrology pertaining to the cards and where they are positioned, that what is going to be in store for you. And it's centered on sub-Saharan Africa, the artwork, and particularly the countries of West Africa. So I suspect that those with an African heritage will find a good emotional response to the art, but I think that you will find a good emotional response. The reason why I say that is, it seems to me, having just gone through these, that it evokes, that is, it draws out feelings within you that, in conjunction with what I pray will be some good poetic language surrounding the images as I describe them and what is going to be happening, that you will find a good emotional response for it. And I suspect that there's going to be success and love coming your way. I just have that feeling for you yet without even looking at a card. Now, the subscribers, great to see the subscribers. Thank you for inviting me into your home each month. Truly, I do appreciate that. Love spending time with you. You know there are no video advertisements breaking into this content here, don't you? Now, the healing work that I do, as I say, is done for free. Check out the information that's in the description box below. Don't be ashamed, don't be frightened. I set time aside each day to do it. So check that out for healings or readings. Now, the readings, I say, go for an hour, but generally they run for more than an hour, and it's easily done, and it works perfectly well, as people know, over FaceTime and Skype. So let's see now what is in store for you and see. The first image is the Four of Blades. Four of Blades indeed. There is the Three of Gourds. Gourds are, I imagine, things to hold liquids, water, I would assume, most often the case in West African countries. There is the Three of Blades. Now, isn't that interesting? Here is what? The Hermit. Now, what's up in here for you? Let's see what there is, shall we? There is, finally, the Queen Mother. Which, well, I won't give anything away yet, but I get a great feeling of prosperity around there and success around it. And love, of course. Wait to see what happens and do it properly, Nigel, and take the inspiration. So why don't you, as is our custom, come and sit down here next to me. I'll bring the camera around so you and I can have a good close look at the interesting artwork on these cards together while I do the reading for you. Just while I'm picking the energy up here, I sometimes look at the small channels on YouTube in tarot, and there's one I came across called Ministry of Tarot, and the lady reading on it seemed to me to be authentic for a change. And so Ministry of Tarot might be, and now the lady is very different to me in how she does it, as you would imagine, but you might want to have a look at that after you've finished looking at this, but bear it in mind for later. Ministry of Tarot. Okay, I've got this now, and it says start here. So let's see what this is. Now, isn't this an interesting picture here? Because really, is it you looking at yourself in a mirror, or is it someone looking out from a hole at you? What I have in the astrology around here is that of Saturn in the second decan of Libra, the 3rd to the 12th of October. Look, this is good because Saturn is exalted in Libra, and so you should expect good things to be happening around you at this time. In fact, I see success coming to you and love and success here. But there's some period of moping about, maybe thinking about past hurts and the things that people have said. The reason that is there is that there's a sort of a feeling of a restriction in some way, some worries or doubts or a lack of clarity, maybe a heaviness, a depression, tension in a three-sided relationship, perhaps. Well, Saturn, of course, Saturn in Libra, although it's exalted, and Libra is about balance and harmony, Saturn is a strict teacher and makes all impurities visible, and it blocks all comfortable avenues of escape. And I think that the lesson to be learned here is no less than the conquering, the mastery of care and worry. Because you know that a brooding, distrustful outlook must be recognized clearly as negative energy, and that separates you from your origin. I do get the feeling of a tension-loaded, three-sided relationship here, which is attempting in some way, this energy here is attempting in some way to explode or destroy that three-sided relationship. Well, in this situation, you need to be making clear decisions, because any attempt to avoid making them can cause you sorrow and worry. Yes, it's a very interesting, compelling energy that's coming up from here. I'm getting the feeling of sorrow over past hurts or losses or separation. Thoughts of sorrow. This energy reflects past patterns that you will mentally recognize, I think. It indicates that you haven't released patterns or events from the past that could well be currently producing sorrow. Now, so this is a summons to you, I think, to make some clear decisions. And only in that way can this lost, out of balance, the Libra aspect, only can it be regained. What decisions are difficult for you to make? You know that every problem contains in it its own solution, don't you? Do you know you really should look at what baggage you are carrying from the past, what thoughts you are returning to, which may even cause you tears. Now, remember that the tears you shed, they water the gardens of your heart, but some things are best left buried in the cemetery, and these are things in the past. They're in the cemetery, they're buried. You don't need to erect a tombstone to them, nor do you need to return and keep visiting them. So what I'm saying here is that it's a calling here for a forgiveness, because forgiveness releases you, not the person or the event in the past. And you will say, well, forgiveness is very difficult. Well, you should look at it this way, that forgiveness is giving up the hope that the past could be any different. Now, I know that you may think that forgiveness means accepting what has happened to you. Well, it's not that. Rather, it is accepting that it has happened to you, not accepting that it was okay for it to happen. It is accepting that it has happened, and now, what are you going to do to just get on with your life? Because forgiving is giving up the hope, not holding on to the hoping and wishing that it could have been any other way than it actually was. Giving up the hope that the past could be any different. And when you get that, it will take you to the next level of being a more complete person, because you don't hold grudges for anything or any situation. And when you let go of the thing, when you turn your back on the cemetery, finally, the past can no longer hold you in a prison cell or hold you hostage to a happy life. Now, I suspect that you will take my words to heart, because I see here that there is now a release. There's a release that's going on here. It's still within the ordinary hurly-burly of life. What do we have here? It looks like 4 soldiers who have been in battle, and now they're at rest, no doubt thinking of their families, no doubt thinking of their fallen comrades, but recuperating and getting ready for what life has in store for them next, but putting behind them the things that have occurred to date. Now, Libra is here again, astrologically for me, and this time it is Jupiter, the great benefic in the third decan of Libra, being the 14th to the 22nd of October. Now, you will know that Libra tries to find balance in your life. And the need for balance can induce unrest, I suppose, from time to time. And Libra, it has to be said, can induce indecisiveness about things here. But I think what we have now is a period of calm for you. You feel centered. There's a clarity. It's almost as if you have been spiritually cleansed. And Jupiter is bringing with it good luck, expansion, and recuperation. And it's so good. Maybe you put that past behind you. You've said it has happened, I've let it go. Because there's agreement that's here now. This is a good atmosphere for the rose of recognition to unfold and expand. Do you know, Jupiter carries the qualities of joy and expansion? And whatever situation seemed hopeless or sorrowful actually contains within itself all the elements now for a fortunate and prosperous solution. You will find the integration of all four aspects of yourself, your mind, your emotions, your body, and your soul. There's a calm here now. Make the most of this feeling of calm, because of course life doesn't stand still. But now, having let go of these ghosts of the past, and they are just wispy ghosts, the events and the people and the words are buried and they rot in the earth. So you have enough inner clarity, I think, to successfully carry out your plans at this time. So be sure that at all times, though, that you feel good about what is happening. Now, what supports and what hinders your clarity? Check your surroundings and rearrange them to support calm and centeredness. And now at last you can say this to yourself: I am at peace within myself. Do you know that processing the past, getting it out of your mind and releasing it from your soul can require some quiet time to yourself? Because this is talking about recuperation, so I'm not surprised that this is here as a recuperative element as well. Recuperative means getting better, you understand, by recuperation. It means I am getting better, and here you are getting better. Now this is a person here who has become wise as a result of things going on here. There's a lot of Virgo energy around this, it's got to be said, and Mercury ruling, which is about communication, the intellect, the understanding, the acceptance of things. I think you will, by this time, be finding your own light, going inward and seeing completion and resting in your own center. You see, when you relax in yourself, you have come home. There's no reason to chase after the deceptive light of that which is external and transitory, that is external and changeable. But you need to trust yourself, and you should. Trust yourself. You'll find the light. Do you know, I think that this is a time when you could well, because of what you've gone through, be something of a mentor to other people as well. There's an illumination from within going on here, almost a divine inspiration, a divine comforting, a divine wisdom that's coming here to you at this time. So much so that what I would call the transforming light of inner clarity fills you bit by bit and fills all the levels of your being. It's like a fruit ripens. It's like the grain can be harvested now and shared with others. Now, if you do spend some time by yourself to process those things and let them go, accept your aloneness. Don't concern yourself with people who don't understand you, who would rather see you be part of the herd. I think you could be getting away from a situation in order to get a better insight into it. I think now that you are becoming aware of something that you were previously in the dark about, and there is the need to get in touch with your untapped wisdom. So now, are there now, at this stage, any unresolved situations or relationships in your life? Are there any ghosts of corpses still hanging around? Blow them away. If you are alone, understand this and say it to yourself. I enjoy the feeling of completion and resolution and acceptance and finalization. I will not compromise that which is important to me. I enjoy my aloneness because I can stop being alone whenever I want. Now, where shall we go, do you think? Well, why don't we go on this same line? There's another card here which looks particularly interesting, I've got to say. Let's have a look at this, Queen Mother. And let's have a look at her. Well, she looks the queen, doesn't she? With all these flowers around her and her head. What would that gem be there? Ladies, do you know what that is? Is that an aventurine? I don't know. I don't know my jewels. I like gold, but I'm given diamonds, of course, over the years. But here we have someone who really is a person who embodies and commands the feminine in all of its forms. Now, her form and surroundings are marked by beauty and wholeness, and you feel a sense of well-being in her presence, taking part in the harmony of her being, don't you think? But her beauty is not restricted only to the externally visible. Her femininity has evolved on all levels of her being, giving her a special radiance, I think. This is what you'll have, of course, during this period. It doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman. Obviously, the principles apply, irrespective of the gender that's here. Now, she is a mother and a lover, a ruler and a clairvoyant at the same time, and her strength rests in unifying of the highest spiritual values in their fully perceivable, understandable, visible forms with the lowest material qualities. Now, I think that her essential characteristics of her realm are love in its giving and in its receiving aspects. She also has creativity and fruitfulness, success, understanding, and wisdom. Now, the creativity of male procreative power unifies itself with the female surrender here. Now, I see here that there is pregnancy about, so you're going to hear of that. Could also be a birth here. And this is a time for you to get in touch with the beauty of your life. You may well find that you are exploring your relationship with a parental figure, and not just restricted to a female. I think it could be a paternal figure, or you acting as a paternal or maternal figure to someone. You'll be very empathetic and caring during this time. And you will be nurturing yourself, and you'll be nurturing other people as well. A lot of beauty coming into your life. Love is on fire. And it's very fertile energy, this. So if you don't want to get pregnant, then do what you need to do or don't need to do to make sure that that doesn't happen. But I think here is a time when you can fulfill your potential. And I see success within the home and outside in work and other social pursuits. You know that the beauty that you see in others, which attracts you to them, is a beauty that you carry within yourself. You now are in the process of unfolding and evolving your femininity. And this may be the right time to work through and clarify any unresolved parental issues. You might ask yourself whether there is in your life a beautiful, strong woman from whom you would like to learn. Visualize your ideal woman. Write down her most important qualities and try to find these in others and yourself. And surround yourself with beauty and abundance. And during this period, say to yourself, I give and receive wisely. I realize that the capacity to receive is equally as powerful as the capacity to give. I value the healing power of beauty, harmony, and love, and I am filled with power and beauty. And then that takes us next to, well, there's only one left, it's this. Okay, what might this be? Three little maids, it seems. Three maidens near a waterhole, presumably, the water pouring down into this largest gourd held by this woman, and it fills over and spreads over to fill the gourds of her sisters. And isn't that an interesting depiction of sharing and love? Because it doesn't surprise me, because this is Mercury in the second decan of Cancer, as I can see it, which is the 2nd to the 11th of July. Well, Cancer is the most maternal of the signs. And Cancer people can usually speak with feeling, and they can convey a sensitive, withdrawn, and thoughtful nature, can't they? Mercury, of course, well, Mercury is about the will and communication. And it's coming into Cancer, which is about nurturing. So you'll find that you'll be able to express your feelings fully with people who are going to enrich your life. There's an overflowing exchange of love here. Rare, valuable feelings that can be communicated between people intimately. It's as if there is a rare and delicious fruit that's bursting open here. The love represented here, I think, is of the highest order, and it's available to be shared with only a small circle of people. Now, these three gourds, they could well stand for three important people in your life with whom you can exchange these precious and exquisite feelings with great intimacy. You realize that such relationships are rare gifts. Care for them with respect and gratitude. I think you have something especially valuable to share. Be open for the people with whom you can share these exquisite feelings. They are also a gift, and you don't need to look for them. There could well also be here, I think, the birth of an idea, a goal. Again, there's birth of a child or something I'm getting. Or sharing success with other people. Life is going to feel good for you, and it's definitely a good time to tell other people that you like them. It's a good time to boost the morale of other people. Are there any people towards whom you have not yet outwardly expressed the love you feel for them? And give whatever you would like to now in full awareness of your boundless riches, and say to yourself, today life gives me everything I need to be happy. Well, what a particularly great set of cards for you.
Well, I told you that was going to be a very interesting deck, didn't I? And I think you'll agree with me that it was. I hope that you enjoyed the artwork as much as I did, and I hope that you enjoyed the reading as much as I did providing it to you. And if you did and you've made it this far, can you do me the great favor of, on the way out, hitting the like button and the subscribe button, because it's good for the YouTube computer, if you understand what I mean. But look, it's been wonderful to see you again. I hope to see you again next month, of course, unless I see you privately in between. But until then, remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.